Okay, folks, this is the video version of the live podcast with Isaac David Bregman, also known as Brother Pastor Brother Isaac David Bregman. And I wanted to talk to y'all right now about the subject of, I say I do random topics, but they're all to do with honest things. I've noticed in life when you, now this sometimes will be in dark form and in face form, but anyway, right now it's in face form. I've noticed when you talk to people and they don't see things the way you do or don't want to see them your way, if your way is right. If your way is wrong, I say no, thank you. I don't think that's a good idea. But if your way is right, I don't see a problem in people following it. But see, they don't want to check that out. They want to say that, okay, they want to say this is what it is and that's all it is. Now, I don't subscribe to that attitude because I don't believe in that. I believe in the one where it says if you did it, you're wrong. If you didn't do it, then why is people trying to accuse you of it if you didn't do it? People will do it to you. They won't bother to ask questions. They'll just go and say, yeah, you did it, and didn't even bother to say, did you do it or not? I've known folks to be like that. They would be the kind of people that would be like, okay, instead of asking you, did you do it, they automatically just assume, yeah, you did it. I don't know if you like my do on my face and hair. I'm going to get a haircut soon, so don't worry about my head. And probably get my chinless beard, cut down. But anyhow, okay, to keep you up to speed on some issues here, I was over there not too long ago, and I'm not going to say anything but what I need to keep innocent. I was with my wife, and we were at her family's house, which in that household was, almost every relative there is. I'm not going to go into details who, what, where, why, and when. But anyhow, the story goes is that when I was there, some things that went down where a lot of it's to do with I had premonitions. Premonitions meaning that you will get talked to by God through either voices or by actual feelings, feelings or voices. And in my case, it was feelings. I felt uncomfortable there. I had done been through a bunch of situations that I felt like the longer I stayed, those situations could continue and possibly get worse. And I was in the middle of everything I was in. So next thing I know, well, then it comes down to okay, so comes down to I felt uncomfortable, so I wanted to leave. Well, it's kind of hard to do that when people want you to stay and you feel uncomfortable. Well, if you feel like something's going to go down and it's going to be the devil's fault for the whole thing, and you're in the middle of it, you don't want to be put where you feel like you could get. Because you know me, I'm a very kind hearted, simple country cowboy preacher, and I try not to make a lot of waves on stuff, and I try hard to just be the right guy in the situation. And people can't push your buttons to the point of making you mad. And people have been known to say, okay, here's what's going to happen now because of what you did or what you didn't do. Like if you say you want to not be somewhere, some people tend to say, okay, well, what are we going to do to cause that person to want to stay longer? Well, if they don't feel right about it and they're feeling uncomfortable, then let them go, because if they're going to find their way to where safety is, where, I mean, you might say, well, where you was safe. Oh, no, not exactly, because if you get talked to in certain manners, you feel like, okay, don't feel right, because, and I didn't say I didn't love her, but she thinks what she thinks. I'm just going to drop the subject on that. So my point with that is, if you get premonitions, like voices or visions or feelings from God telling you, check into what I'm telling you, because you might find out I'm telling you something important. Then look into what God is saying, because God's never steered you wrong. And when people go places in life and let folks around them influence them into what they say and do, then you got to stop that mess, people. Let folks live their own life, be who they gotta be. I can't tell you what to do, except for listen to God and let God guide you into what you're supposed to do. But when you want to start talking about, well, if you don't do things this way, you don't love me, you know what? That has nothing to do with the whole situation. If you'll stop trying to make something of it, pardon my language. But I've done seen it how many times happen where people get this attitude where you said something about them or somebody and you hadn't even said a word about nothing. So your best bet is, number one, stop your anger issues. And number two, if you're going to have problems with people, then go ahead and have those problems with people. Don't involve folks that weren't in the story in it. Be like me saying, well, so-and-so's going to do such and such, so I can't talk to you. I do love you people, but y'all got to back off, be quiet, stop trying to tell me how bad I am or anyone is if you don't know them. I've known y'all about how many minutes, seconds, weeks, and days. I don't intend to lose what I got going on, because it's just like you can't say up and you can't say down. You got to say yes, sir, or no, sir. And it's like, okay, so I said what I said to you, and you said what you said to me, so does that make me wrong because it depends on what I said. If I said I feel uncomfortable because it feels as if God is telling me that something's about to go down and it would be wrong. Okay. If I tell you this, it doesn't matter when I told you. If I told you at all about it, don't you dare go run your mouth and act like I don't know what I'm talking about or I'm wrong about whoever I'm talking about. Say to me, why do you feel this way? What makes you feel as though something's about to happen you think should not happen? Then you would see people talking to you about the situation that they need to talk to you about to get the mess straight. I don't want to find out later on down the road you're getting mad at me because I told you the truth about something, or either you got mad at me because of the fact that you didn't like what I said. I'm not perfect. I admit to it. I'm not perfect at all. But if I do what I'm going to do, and there ain't no need in this, well, what about this? What about that? What it's about is about doing the thing that is right. Doing what you should do. Not setting no goals or bars higher or lower. Saying that if you are doing the right thing, sirs and ma'ams, then if God is pleased with what you're doing, be happy with it. I mean, if you do something and God is saying, congratulations, you did the right thing, then why should we be worried about the fact that there's a lot, like, okay, Joe Blow, he's going to say, okay, he's going to tell you what you are to do. But Joe Blow don't know you like you know yourself. So if Joe Blow don't know you like you know yourself and like God knows you, then how can Joe Blow be there talking to you about you in front of people, not really thinking, maybe Joe Blow don't know everything, and God knew more than Joe did, and they didn't want to admit to it because that would make them look like they don't know nothing. When really Joe could probably have a better life with people if he would just hold on.